Dear students, in this video I am going to take an example. Here is the problem. Maximum z is 3x1 plus 4x2 plus x3 plus 7x4 subjected to 8x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 plus x4 is less than equals to 7. 2x1 plus 6x2 plus x3 plus 5x4 is less than equal to 3. x1 plus 4x2 plus 5x3 plus 2x4 is less than equals to 8. And feasibility condition x1, x2, x3, x4 all are greater than equals to 0. After adding the slack variable x5 here in the first constraint, x6 in the second constraint and x7 in the third constraint, and then apply the simplex method, we get this optimum table. This is the optimum table. And since in the initial table identity matrix corresponds to x5, x6, x7 variable, that's why the inverse matrix will be corresponding to x5, x6, x7 variables. So this is the identity matrix, that means B inverse. Fine. So this is the final optimum table. Now here we have to discuss the effect of discrete changes in Bi, discuss the effect of discrete changes in Cj, and discuss the effect of discrete changes in Aij of the current opting non-basic variable. Here we will discuss about the optimum non-basic variable. Feasible solution only. Fine. Here we are discussing only for non-basic variable. Fine. So now the first case, find here we are having three constraints. So this is b1, b2, b3. So that's why find out delta b1, delta b2, delta b3. This is the changes. Fine. And this is the formula. This is the formula which we have already discussed in previous video. Delta bi is less than equals to this maximum and minimum minus b star k divided by s star ki. So how to apply this? Let us see. So this is the table. So here in this first, so here we have to apply this method here. Delta b1, in this formula put I is equals to 1. So we get minus b star s k1 k1. S star k1 means first column of the inverse matrix. Now in this column you can see, so when you put k I is equals to 1 first, then what you get? You get this. Delta b1 is less than equal to minimum of k, s star k1 is less than 0 and s star k1 is positive. Ratio is same. Minus b star k divided by s star k1 minus b star k divided by s star k1. Here is minimum, here is maximum. Fine. So how to apply? So we have to move in the first column of the identity matrix. Here you can see, here we have some positive terms and some are negative terms. This is positive and these two are negative. Fine. So this corresponds to the positive term, this corresponds to the negative term. So here in this formula, here is the negative term. That's why these two ratio and here is b star k divided by s star k. This is b star k. So the ratio of 5 by 19 divided by minus 1 by 19 multiplied by minus sign will come here. Similarly minus 126 by 19 divided by minus 1 by 38, this will come here. And the positive ratio 16 by 9 divided by 5 by 38 multiply by minus sign will come here in the maximum. So this is the ratio. Fine. So here for the positive one, here for the negative one. So in the negative we are having two values, so they will come here, and here we have only one positive value, so this will come here. And now find out the ratio. Since here is only one negative value, so that's why minus 32 by 5 less than equal to delta b1 is less than equal to, here we are having two values, so find out the minimum one, which is 5. So this is the range, feasible range of delta b1. That means if you varies your b1 within this range, then there will be no effect on feasibility. So optimum solution remains feasible. Fine. Now similarly in this delta B2, in the delta B2 you can see here we are having one positive, two negative values. So positive value corresponds to the left hand side and negative value corresponds to the right hand side. So the ratio 5 by 19 divided 8 by 31, 5 by 19 divided by 8 by 31 with minus sign came in the left hand side. Delta B2 is less than or equal to minimum of this ratio, minus 16 by 19 divided by minus 130 by this. So this will come here. Similarly minus 126 by 19 divided by this value will come here. So find out the minimum. And similarly in the last one. Now in the last one you can see that this is a basic variable actually. So here we have only one positive value. There is no negative value. That's why we will have only the lower bound. So lower bound is minus 126 by 19. Here there is no value here because there is no negative, only positive value is here. So minus 126 by 19 divided by 1. So this is the lower bound. Fine. So this is the way how to find out the range. Fine. Now I will discuss this range of delta C1, delta C2, delta C3, delta C4, delta C5, delta C6 and delta C7. Fine. So here we will discuss this range in the next video. Thank you.